Welcome to Open Arms, an honest conversation about firearms. Hey everyone, I'm your host Brian Lockerman, and I've been noticing that there's been a lot of change in our sheriffs and police departments because of the cut budgets, because of there's crime rate going up, there's homeless rate going up, and I decided to bring in an active sheriff who's also running for office. So today I have Patrick Gipson. Welcome to the show, Patrick.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. We got a lot of problems to solve, and we have to do it soon.
I agree with that. So let me ask you this. How long have you been a sheriff?
By the time I retire, it'll be 24 years, so that's within the next few months.
Okay, 24 years. So in your 24 years, have you seen a difference?
I'm sorry, I got to laugh because there's a huge difference.
Uh-huh.
And when I first started in '99, graduated the Sheriff's Academy, and I saw that crime was still there. Obviously, that's why we have Sheriff's Department and we have police departments. And from what I saw from that point on, it was it was being handled. It was being dealt with. Crime, it wasn't something that we see today where you can just go into a store and grab a variety of items and just leave, and there's no consequences.
Yeah.
And that was not in existence back then. With 24 years about, and so fast forward to now, we are in some Twilight Zone nightmare right now, and it's scary.
I could imagine. Now, have you noticed the effect on all the cuts?
We've lost just law enforcement in general is low on manpower. A lot of people are leaving the state. They're leaving the department to go other departments with it, out of the county, out of the state. Tennessee, Florida, and Texas. That's a lot of my partners have already moved out that way and are already working out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're in law enforcement out there and you're watching the show, actually email us. Tell us your experience too as well. I think this is happening nationwide. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it was Governor DeSantis put out to all the New York officers that were getting laid off or fired to come out down there, and he'll give them a job and he'll take care of them. And I think he did.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That's great. Well, this is why we're seeing so many more people wanting to protect themselves and purchasing a firearm.
Right.
So with that said, that is why I put the show Open Arms together, because I wanted to make sure that if they're going to do this, to do it the right way and be safe about it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people probably coming to you and asking their opinions about buying a gun for self-protection, correct?
Yeah, I get friends and family, they'll ask me about what should I buy? What should I do? It's like, well, get something that you can carry that's comfortable and that has something, a good safety on it, because a lot of people are first timers. They're not going to be able to fire a Glock like just, where's the safety?
Exactly.
Safety's on the trigger.
I know. I know it.
So a lot of people don't understand that. So when they start learning and getting lessons, and the education is what is very important for people to have firearms. And if you're going to have a firearm, be educated. Know what you got.
Hear that, guys? What he just said? Education. That is key. That's what the show Open Arms is all about. Education is knowledge. And that's what we're trying to do, because if we save one life through this show, we've done our job.
Absolutely.
That was well spoken, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
It's just something where you have children, you honestly, you're a family and you want to protect them. You can call police department and they're not going to get there till after the fact. And if you have one in the home, educate yourself, educate your family, put it away safely, and know how to use it.
That I agree.
So.
There was a couple actually came to me, local couple. They had a local business, and they had a disgruntled employee, and he was threatening to kill them. And he wasn't trying to threaten to kill them with a gun or a knife. He filled his car with like 20 5-gallon cans of gasoline to blow them up and ram their house. So they would call the sheriffs, and the sheriffs kept coming. And finally, the one deputy said to him, "Look, there might be a chance we may not be able to get here in time.
Right.
I suggest you probably maybe purchase a firearm, get some training first before you bring that home, just in case." And they did that. They came to us and we trained them, got them safe, got a gun purchased, did the whole safety breach at their house as well. And now they feel more comfortable.
Yeah, knowledge.
It's a piece.
Knowledge is
It's a
powerful.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's education and knowledge, and that's what we have to do. And that's with everything, really.
Right.
You know,
And through those two knowledges, knowledge and education, you get experience.
that's true.
And the longer and the more experience you have throughout the years, it becomes second nature.
Hmm.
And when you're able to have that second nature, you want to teach that to your family, and they'll know that, hey, someone messes with mom, she's got a CCW permit. Dad's got a CCW permit. I'm turning 21. I'm getting mine too. It becomes something where it's just something where you can't leave home without it. And if you do, it's like, hey, something's missing,
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a good thing for people to actually defend themselves, because it's true, because law enforcement will not always be there on time.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's just the nature of things, especially being departments being defunded constantly.
Ah,
And I don't know why these elected officials that we have right now are just pushing that narrative, and they're pushing it away and from gun owners who are safe. They're
mhm.
trained and they have all the stuff, but they're pushing them away and making laws harder for them to protect themselves, when obviously a criminal is going to come up and just buy whatever he wants down the street or wherever they get them, and there's a lot of places, and they steal them too. So
Mhm.
that's another way of how do they get firearms, and they don't care about firearm
Oh
laws. They
yeah,
don't care any about that stuff.
we know the story well. That's for sure.
Yeah,
That is for sure.
absolutely.
I got a question for you. So, in your 24 years, um, with have you seen it being more difficult for you guys to actually apprehend a fugitive or be able to pull your weapon or things like that over the years? It seems like now you have to kind of second guess that.
Yeah, and that takes away precious time. So that
Yeah,
second guess is something that is dangerous to law enforcement,
yeah.
because you go out there and before we're ready. We take our gun out of our holster, and we're ready to go. But now you can't even do that. You have to, and if you do take your gun out of your holster, you got to write, I don't know how many other papers. You have to
Oh,
explain why you felt that you had to do that. And a lot of officers, that's something where in their brain they're going, well, why do I have to do that? It's just a general safety concern that if I feel a little bit something uneasy, it comes out. Obviously, you're not going to be pointing it at an innocent person's face, but it's through, again, experience and time where we learn these things, and that's they're curtailing that now.
yeah. It almost seems like the criminals know that now, so
Oh
it
yeah,
gives them the upper hand.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It gives them an upper hand. Well, we know that, hey, they can't shoot us or they're going to get in trouble or they can't pull the gun.
they know.
Yeah, they know that.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
it drives me batty when I
Well,
hear
I
that.
mean, we got DAs like George Gascon,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
what is he doing?
Yeah.
He's going after, law enforcement,
Mhm.
and so it's like, wow, man, if I do my job, I potentially can go to prison. And, so a lot of other, officers out there are like, man, I guess we just got to be extra careful. Or now I'm just going to answer calls. I'm not going to go out and search for something, because now they're just trying to tell me anyway, just answer your calls and, don't get in any trouble.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So,
Anybody out there in law enforcement, if you have these similar stories, please write us. I want to hear this. I want to hear what else is going on out there because I tell you, this stuff really just just drives me up a wall.
yeah, I can assume, because you're an instructor and
Yeah.
you see it, and you just wonder why in the world are we living in this current time?
Uh-huh.
And it's through, our elected officials, and so I'll go over that real quick. And that's why one of the many reasons why I'm running for Assembly District 40. And we have to get up in Sacramento. We have to put legislation on the table, and it has to be common sense. It can't be something that's, well, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. You have to explain things. You have to educate people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't educate them up there in Sacramento, they're already in the position, because we have a very unbalanced legislature right now. We have 80 assemblymen and people, and 62 of them are Democrats, 18 of them are Republicans. So we are completely unbalanced. And that's driving a narrative on the other side, where if we get a mass shooter type thing, and oh my God, we jump on that, let's get rid of all the guns. Great. Now criminals are going to start ruling, that city, that town, and especially with Title 42 that just ended, you're going to have
Oh,
mass amounts of people coming into our country, and we don't even know who they are, and they can go get guns, and it's not hard.
Yep.
It's going to be something that people have to wake up, because it's going to be knocking, literally, I'm sorry, kicking down their front door, and they're going to have to deal with it.
That is true. That is
Yeah.
true. So what do you think? How you doing in your campaign right now?
We're doing really well. It's I got a lot of party support already, which
Okay.
is phenomenal. I did run in was that 2022. It was District 30, it's Congressional District 30. I ran against Adam Schiff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
No
if
way.
I was my first run. If you're gonna jump in, you do it big, and you learn a lot.
Yeah.
So I was basically going to school to learn how to run a campaign. And this time now around, we're starting well over a year, and we got a lot of good support for our party. And I'm looking forward to kicking the incumbent out of there. She's only been there for a year, but she's already voted against all the bills that would effectively protect our citizens and law enforcement, because she's voting against all the fentanyl bills. And that doesn't help anything right now, because fentanyl is killing thousands of people a day. And then, yeah, it's great. You can put Narcan in schools, but the whole that's not a big deal. I mean, that's a good idea, but you have to get rid of the problem at the root,
Mhm.
and they're not doing that.
Why don't you tell your audience where they can find you, where they can contribute, where they can support you?
Right. They can come find me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and that's Gipson, Gipson. That's Gipson with a P, and that's going to be the number 4 assembly. So Gipson 4 assembly. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. Let's see. I am also on Twitter, so it's Patrick Lee Gips. So it's GIPS2. It's just Twitter, however they make their stuff. So that's the only one I was able to get. You can find me there. I'm sorry, our my website, that's almost finished. I had to switch over from a congressional website to Assembly, so that's getting done right now. So that should be available next week. I'm praying, and that's going to be Gipson4assembly.com.
Very good.
And I'm sorry, one more thing.
That's okay.
We need your help, and if you're going to be helping and you want to make a difference, I need your help. You need to donate because Democrats out there are donating, hand over fist,
Yeah.
and we're not doing that. So we need to step up. We need to make sure we put in our elected officials, and there is a way to make change. And voting does help. Don't take the bait and go, well, nothing's going to happen. It's going to be just the same old, same old. That's a psyop, man. I'm serious, and they're pushing that hard, and I don't believe that. We can win.
Yeah. Hear that, guys? Go help this guy out. He's going to make a difference. I'm sure of that. What we'll do is we will post on this video too all of his contacts as well, and also on our Instagram. You can find his stuff on our Instagram, which is openarms.tv there too. That's awesome, Patrick. I really do appreciate you doing it, stepping up to the plate and helping us out. It's people like you that are going to make a difference. It really is.
Yeah, we have to, because
Yeah,
I'm not
we
leaving
do.
California.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not running away.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, we definitely need people like you to really just help everyone out.
Thank you.
You're doing
Appreciate that.
you're doing a great job, and I really commend you for your 24 years of service too. I mean,
It goes by fast.
yeah, I can imagine. Any future plans about retirement from the force, or you're going to continue on with that, or what's
Well, in the next 3 months, I should be retiring and
Okay.
focusing all my full-time stuff into, just speaking and engagements, running for office,
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that, helping other people run for office and getting their message out. Yeah,
Good.
there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to continue to do.
Yeah, I mean that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're a sheriff in L.A. County, correct?
Correct.
And that's the county of counties. Right?
That's one of the biggest counties I know,
That's that's where it all happens. down
Huge county.
there.
Seriously
Yeah.
huge.
I mean, over the years, I just seen that the place just getting
Oh,
worse and worse
Yeah.
and worse. I mean, I can imagine every time I drive down, there's more and more homeless up and down the streets.
I didn't have that before.
No, huh?
No.
And
no.
and then since the pandemic too, all the businesses are shut down. Everything just went away. It just
Right.
they're trying to. It looks like they're trying to bounce back a little bit, but it doesn't seem like they're getting there.
Well, look at San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Businesses are running from there because
Uh-huh.
they can't sustain business
Yeah.
because everything that's not nailed down
Uh-huh.
is being stolen. So you can go into supermarkets and everything's locked up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they're like, how do we fight this? We'll lock it up, and they're still tearing down, those locks and getting in and still stealing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and they can't do anything about it. Because no one's going to really put the fire to those criminals' feet. And they're saying, well, they're homeless, they're destitute. Well, we have programs for that,
Yeah.
and it's not, go steal. That's not the program, and we have to be able to defend small businesses because they're being severely affected by all
Oh.
this right now.
And
And this was not how it was before. There was a way to do things, and you had consequences. And a lot of people wouldn't even think about it, but now they know there's no consequences for
I
those
know it.
things. And when you see, when you walk into the county jails and stuff, and they're chanting, George Gascon's name, Gascon, Gascon, my homie, you're just like, wow, this is a whole nother world that we're
Uh-huh.
living in right now, and
Uh-huh.
this is the nightmare. But a lot of people don't see it,
Yeah.
and they don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. It's amazing what I see out there.
yeah.
Never thought in a million years it would get this bad.
Scary.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just been crazy.
I mean, seriously, letting your kids walk down the street to the store was something that we used to do in the
Oh,
70s and 80s, but there's no way I'll let
nope,
my kids do that now.
nope,
No
nope.
way.
I know it. I know it. It's a shame. You know,
Yeah.
shame we lost that.
Well, we got to get it back.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. And again, I go back to my show. That's a big focus of that. We do a big focus on family values too.
It's good.
Things like that. Just we got to bring our country back. You know, we got to show the importance of saying the Pledge of Allegiance in school when you first start the day.
Right, right.
Things like that. Just the
Yeah.
little things, the subtle things. You know.
Well, that's our country, and a lot of kids, especially in colleges and high schools, they're being taught to hate this country.
Yeah, I
And
know it.
where else do you go?
I know.
And you really want to be uh, immersed in socialism, and you want communism in your country. They'd have no idea. Go to Venezuela, see all the people out there, and they can't even get into a doctor 2-3 months later because it's medical's free now, right?
Uh-huh.
But no one wants to be a doctor anymore,
Yeah.
because there's no benefit for them. And so now you have to deal with shortages in food, gas, because they're controlling all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's no, how do you say this? There's no reason for people to step up and make a living and make a business or anything because they're not able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you take that away from this country, people are going to revolt and they will fight back.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So obviously you went through gun training too, being a sheriff, obviously,
Yeah.
right? Safety training, everything like that.
Right.
Have you had anybody come to you to ask you to do safety, and have you trained anybody?
Absolutely. So I am
Nice.
a trained instructor,
You
firearms
are.
instructor.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful. Okay.
So I have trained quite a few people over the time. So let's see, basically opened a training facility, I think about 5 to 7 years ago. And right now I'm not really training because of my shoulder, I'm injured. But once I get better and start doing that, I can get back into the training and start, teaching people how to shoot their gun,
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
safe with it. So basically what I do is I teach security guards how to
Oh.
train
Okay.
and use their weapon. So that's, from guard card, firearm permit, all of that stuff. But, it's something that I give back with the training aspect from my experience, and I try to give it to them. It's not just, sign the paperwork, great, shoot a few rounds. All right, you passed. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's some businesses that do
Oh,
that.
of course.
However, they're doing a disservice,
Mhm.
and you have to train people because if you're going to be working with them in the future, you have to make sure that they're not going to shoot you in the back of the head because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you have to train them well.
Good. So where's your facility? Where do you train?
I train out of let's see, it's a place to shoot over in Santa Clarita,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and I also train over at Angeles.
Well, listen, I don't know if you know this, but I have a private range out here.
I'm finding out a lot of things about you,
There
so
you go.
I would like to come.
I would like to actually, what we're doing right now, we're actually revamping the whole place. We're making
Beautiful.
this place look amazing. Once we're done with that, I wouldn't mind, having you bring your classes out there.
Oh, sounds good.
I'll leave that place, and it's nice. It's private. It's a really nice area where it is.
Right.
Every person I've brought down has been like, oh my God, like I'm in another
That's a
world down
blessing
here.
to have your own
Yeah,
place,
yeah,
man.
and
Outdoors.
it's
Whew,
outdoors and it's close.
nice.
So yeah, definitely. We'll talk more about that for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, because the more trainers I have out there, I swear to God, dude, the more comfortable I feel that people are getting the right education on firearm safety.
Yeah, it's good to get it out there and start. If you don't do it, you lose it.
That's true.
So
That is
I
true.
like getting back in there
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah. Well, definitely, we'll get you out there.
Appreciate it.
Well, Patrick, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, and I encourage everyone, please look him up, help him out. Let's get him elected. This guy's going to make a difference. I tell you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate his service too. The 24 years, that's fantastic. So, anyways, again, I love having you on. We'll get you out to the range. We'll get your training classes out there as well,
Okay.
and we'll start working together.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
All right, thanks again, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, that's our show for today, guys. I want to just have everybody remember to follow us on Instagram, openarms.tv. Go to our YouTube channel, Open Arms TV. Subscribe, hit that like button, comment, write in about the show, write in about your experiences. And always remember, safety, family, and the Second Amendment. Have a good day.